Here's something happening in your home right now that you're probably missing. Not a dramatic gesture, not a loud declaration. Something tiny. Something so small and so woven into the fabric of your daily life with your cat that you've stopped seeing it entirely. A specific way they position themselves when you sit down. A sound they make only when they hear your voice. The exact spot they choose to sleep when the whole house is available to them. These are not habits, not quirks, not random feline behavior that means nothing. They are devotion, expressed in the only vocabulary your cat has, small, consistent, daily actions that accumulate into something that, once you learn to read it, will change how you see every ordinary moment you share with them. Here's what most cat owners don't realize. Cats don't make grand gestures. They don't have the social wiring for dramatic declarations of love. What they have instead is something quieter and, in many ways, more powerful. The willingness to organize their daily existence around another being. To build tiny, consistent habits that only exist because of you. That only happen because you are in their world. 7 of them. Each one smaller than you'd expect. Each one meaning more than you know. Segment 1. The habits that happen around your presence. 1. They position themselves where they can always see you. Look around your home right now and find your cat. Chances are, they're not just anywhere. They're in the room you're in, or facing the doorway you most recently walked through, or in the spot that gives them a clear sight line to wherever you are. This is not coincidence. This is orientation. In feline social groups, cats who are bonded maintain what researchers call passive proximity. They don't need to be touching or interacting, but they keep each other within their perceptual field. Within sight, within earshot. Close enough that any change in the other's behavior registers immediately. Your cat has made you the center of their passive proximity map. They are not watching you. They are simply keeping you in range, making sure you are still there, still present, still part of the landscape of their world. That quiet repositioning every time you move to a different room is not them following you for food or attention. It is them maintaining the bond in the only continuous way available to them. 2. They make a sound specifically when they hear your voice. Not when they hear any voice. Not when the television is on or a visitor arrives. When they hear yours. A small chirp, a brief trill, sometimes just a tiny exhale that functions as acknowledgement. It happens almost automatically. Before they've even decided to respond, their vocal system has already answered you. This sound is not a request. It is a reflex of recognition. Your voice has been coded into their nervous system as a signal that carries specific meaning, safety, familiarity, the presence of the person their world is organized around. And their body answers it before their mind catches up. Pay attention to it. That involuntary sound when they hear you speak, that is their nervous system saying your name back to you in the only language it has. 3. They settle faster when you're in the room. Here's one that's almost invisible unless you know to look for it. A cat alone in a space takes longer to fully relax. Their alert system stays partially active, ears rotating, eyes not fully closed, body not completely loose. This is normal. It is the low-grade vigilance of a predator who is also prey, alone in a space with no social anchor. Watch what happens when you enter. The ears soften, the eyes hood slightly. The body releases a tension you didn't even realize was there. Sometimes they don't even look at you. They don't need to. Your presence alone, your scent, your sound, your familiar energy in the room is enough to tell their nervous system, the safe person is here. Stand down. You are their regulation, their calm, the environmental variable that changes everything simply by being present. Segment 2. The habits that happen in their body. 4. They slow blink mid-activity, without prompting. Not a response to your slow blink. Not during a moment of direct interaction. In the middle of something else entirely, grooming, watching the window, settling into a nap, they pause, find your face, and slow blink. Unprompted. Unrequested. entirely voluntary. This is the rarest version of the gesture. When a cat offers a slow blink during their own private moment, with no social trigger and no expectation of response, they are doing something that has no function other than expression. They looked at you in an ordinary moment and felt something that needed to be said. That is not a behavior. That is a feeling translated into the only physical gesture that carries it. 5. Their purr changes when you specifically touch them. Almost nobody notices this distinction, and it changes everything once you do. Your cat may purr when content, when warm, when settled. But listen, really listen, to whether the purr shifts when your hand makes contact, whether it deepens or becomes more resonant, or loses a tension it had before. Many cats have a specific purr register that only activates with their person, not with strangers. Not always with other household members, with the one whose touch their body has learned to recognize as safe. That shift, that deepening is not volume. It is meaning. It is their nervous system responding to you specifically in a frequency that says, this touch, this person, this is the one. Segment 3. The habits that happen in their choices. 6. They choose to sleep facing you. When your cat sleeps near you, not touching, just near, notice which direction they face. A cat who sleeps facing toward you is orienting their most vulnerable state toward the presence they trust most. Their closed eyes, their unguarded face, their unconscious self, all directed at you. In the wild, sleeping facing a direction means trusting that direction. It means the threat assessment system has cleared you completely, not just as non-threatening, as the direction from which safety comes. They could face the wall. They could face the door. They face you. 7. They mirror your stillness. This is the most subtle habit on this list, and the most profound once you see it. When you are calm, your cat becomes calm. When you are still, they settle. When you read, or sit quietly, or simply exist in a state of low activity, your cat synchronizes to it. Not because they're bored, because they are tracking you. Studies on cat owner pairs have found measurable synchronization in rest activity cycles between bonded cats and their owners. They nap when you're still. They become alert when your energy shifts. Their nervous system has tuned itself to yours, using your state as a continuous calibration for their own. You are not just part of their environment. You are the instrument their nervous system uses to read it. Actionable takeaways. This week, watch for these 7. Not for the dramatic ones, for the small ones. The sound when they hear your voice, the direction they face when they sleep, the way the room changes when you walk into it. You don't need to do anything differently. You just need to see what's already happening. Because your cat has been devoted to you, quietly, consistently, in these 7 tiny ways, possibly for longer than you realize. And the only thing missing was you knowing how to look. Here's what 7 tiny habits add up to. A life organized around you. A nervous system calibrated to yours. A body that answers your voice before your cat's mind has decided to respond. A purr that deepens specifically for your touch. Eyes that find your face in the middle of their own private moments and offer something that needs no translation. This is not a cat who tolerates you. This is not a cat who stays because the food is good and the heating works. This is a cat who has built their entire daily existence around the fact of you. And now, in every ordinary moment, the positioning, the sound, the sleeping face turned toward you, you'll see exactly what that means. Which of these 7 did you recognize immediately? The one that made you look at your cat differently? Drop it in the comments. And if there's a tiny habit your cat has that isn't on this list, tell me. Those are the ones I learn from most. If you made it this far, you understand something most people never will. Cats aren't just pets. They're complex, emotional, intelligent beings. Tap the video on your screen to keep learning the secret language of cats. And subscribe to Cat Class, because understanding your cat changes everything.